All right. Just waiting for YouTube and Zoom to talk to each other. Oh, there's a handshake. Someone's buying one of a coffee. Handshake. Someone's buying one of a coffee.
It's This Just In News Comedy Club show with your very special guest stars, Vic Milberg, Mark Palchick, Safi Alam, Chris Wright, Annaliese Wright, and your headliner, Charlotte Parker. And now the host of your show, the master of puppets, the man whose name without thinking Alcoholics Anonymous, please welcome Aaron! Yay! Yay!
Woo. All right, everyone. Welcome to This Just In News Comedy Club show. Aaron's not here. I am the game demon. Yes, I have a game show. It's down in hell. Excuse my language. Down in heck. Yes, it's called Odd or Even. You bet your life is basically what it is. I guess a number, or I get a number. You guess it, and if you're right, you win some money. If you're wrong, you lose your soul. Aww. So he couldn't be here, and I could be here. So welcome to the show. He does a great job. I would like to also thank our co-producer tonight, Jarrett Johnson. Jarrett Johnson, if he's running in the background right now. Thank you so much for making this such a great show to watch. I wanted to thank him right off the bat. You know, it's been kind of a rough week in hell. It has. It's been hell. I just can't believe it. All the souls I had to take today. It was sad. No one can guess a number between 1 and 2 billion. I don't know. Just people suck at guessing, I guess. Yeah, and it's also kind of cold. That's why I'm blue. It's just cold. It was a cold day in hell. You know, and then zits never go away either. I just keep, you know, I went to the dermatologist and they said, there's nothing we can do for you. And I'm like, well, the hell with you. They're there. I got to go check on them. Anyway, we're going to get started here shortly. And I want to welcome our first comedian to the stage. He's from the New England area. Please welcome Vic Milberg. Yay!
Well, hello, everybody. It's so nice being here on Zoom, my only window into the outside world. Life is getting very small. But I like Zoom because I can change backgrounds. Like today, I'm featuring a sunflower. But yesterday, I put up a restaurant background so that people can see that I have a life. I grew up in Ukraine, and although you can't see my full body, try to imagine. This is exactly what we all look like when we're fully grown. Some people have difficult immigration stories, but mine is very simple. It was all about my nose. You can see my nose very well on Zoom. Here, I'm going to get closer to the camera.
Don't sneeze.
It was too big for Ukraine, so I left. When I came here, I experienced a lot of xenophobia. People thought that I was Xena, the warrior princess. And they were very afraid of me. Now I live in New England. It sounds so prestigious, right? But just a few months ago in New England, there was a shortage of toilet paper. And people were suffering. But when I lived in Ukraine, there was neither toilet paper nor food. And nobody was suffering. Because if you don't eat, you don't poop. Problem solved. Period. We're living in a crazy, crazy time now. Like, we don't even need a special day for Halloween. It's just every day. Like, I thought 2020 would be a year of endless parties, like 1920. Well, I was very close. It turned out to be a masquerade. I actually went to a masquerade for New Year's Eve. But who knew it would last the whole year? A friend told me that just the other day, his date showed up at his door with a bandana over her face. He thought he was being robbed and called the police. Well, I think it seems, it's not my opinion, but it seems that whoever created coronavirus just wants to get rid of us. Like we are an outdated model. We need to eat, we need to sleep. And on top of all that, we want affordable healthcare. Dare we? How dare we? So somebody said, let's exchange them for robots. The other night, I had a dream that I was in New York City, walking on Broadway, if you know what I mean. And it was very crowded, but nobody was wearing a mask. And I could see so many noses and lips. Everybody had an animal face. I couldn't tell between a beauty and a beast. But a little voice inside of me whispered, if you show me your true colors shining, you'll be beautiful like a rainbow. So at that moment, I decided for Halloween, I'm going to be Cyndi Lauper, a gay icon. The pandemic seems like a really bad reality show to me. Before, it would be like a 2-hour Hollywood movie called Contagion. You go to the movies, eat your popcorn, and it's all over. And now it's like asking when will Keeping Up with the Kardashians ever end? So social distancing made me social distance from barbershops. So my hair now looks like I have dog's ears. The other day I was walking in downtown and the dog got very, very excited. He thought I was just another dog. And I realized at that time I can make a dog really happy. I mean, I was told nobody will ever marry me anyway because I have student loans. I'm a liability. But a dog can work out fine. On top of that, my father has a personality of a firecracker. He could blow up anytime. That's why I'm fireworks. Can you see my colors burn? I think Katy Perry wrote that song about me.
All right. Thank
man.
you, Vic. Yay. Oh my gosh. You know what? I have to figure out a better signal apparently because the light from hell is not shining bright enough on this. Thank you, Vic. That was awesome. Yeah. Your true colors are showing through. So are mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, my friend Jareth asked me how long this took to put on, and I said I just took off what I was wearing before. So I was wearing a mask all this time. This is what I look like when I take it off. That's why my wife screams when I say, "Hey, honey, let's have some sex." Thank you, Vic. We can find Vic on Vic Comedy. That's VICKOMEDY.com.
Yep.
And I'm sure he's going to be doing some more Zoom shows. Maybe he'll venture out past the Zoom mics. Who knows? I'm not. I'm staying in hell. Great place to be. I'll tell you what. Come on down. The water's warm. All right. All right. Next to the stage is one of A.A. Ron's favorite comedians from Washington, D.C., because he deals with evil there all the time. Please welcome to the stage, Mark Palchick. Yay!
Thank you very much for having me. My name is Mark Palchick. I'm a 70-year-old stand-up comic. Hey, look, there's no need to call the paramedics. I am perfectly capable of standing up without assistance and still telling jokes. I mean, after all, I am younger than both the presidential candidates. I love living in Washington, D.C., except it's gotten so expensive. You would not believe what it costs these days to buy a politician. And they're just not worth it. You know, DC has a politician that tweeted, "The Jews control the weather." The Jews, really? We haven't been able to control the weather since we left Egypt the first time. You know, if we really had that superpower, we'd just keep New York warm. Anything's better than going to Miami in the winter. 70 is turning out to be a really difficult age. I am much, much too old to go clubbing. You do not want to see a 70-year-old clubbing. And yet, I am much too young for cryogenics. You know, where they cut off your head and freeze it? Hey, I like the cold, but come on, man. In my second 7 decades on this blue marble, I have noticed that as people age, their preferences change. A young man of 22 dreams of having a mistress who's young and sexy and will dress up like a nurse. An old man of 92 dreams of having a mistress that's an actual nurse. The young man really hopes that his mistress will knock his socks off. The old man really hopes his mistress will put his socks on. The World Series is on. Wow. You know, every day they have their temperature taken. Every other day they get tested for COVID. And if they test positive, they isolate. Amazing. For the first time, African Americans and Latin Americans have better health care than the rest of America. Boy, I'll tell you, I miss the good old days. Like 2019, when it was a good thing to have an infectious laugh.
Oh, man.
You know, I get so confused. Most days I don't know what day it is. On Monday, I got up, I got dressed for church, and then I remembered, I don't go to church on Monday. I'm Jewish. I don't go to church at all. This pandemic has actually been great for my adult kids. Before times, they had to come up with these great excuses for us not to visit. Now it's, Mom, Dad, it's a pandemic. Social distancing, it's about your health. Oh, come on, kids. Can't we come down? You live in our basement. I'll tell you, I've been watching the news about the protesters, and they have really stepped up their game since I marched in the 60s. You know, they have medics, they have videographers, they have advertisers. Today's protest is brought to you by Taco Bell. Because why should the police be the only ones with gas?
Oh, God.
Oh, that joke stunk. But these protests have taught us something about where we are as a society. We have a long way to go. I mean, we are still a very, very ageist society. Look, just because I'm 70 doesn't mean that I'm old. Old is an attitude, not a number. Well, unless you've been pushed off that great cliff, lost your job because of your age, in which case it's a short tumble, lose your job, lose your home. Before you know it, you are sitting in death's lobby. Florida. But I'll tell you, you're not old unless your side piece is your night nurse and your wife is happy for the help. And I'm not old. I walk my dog every day, twice a day for 2 hours. Well, it should only be an hour and a half, but that dog stops every 10 minutes so I can pee. Mark Palchick, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Mark. All right. Mark, can we find you on Facebook? Is that where we're going to find you?
You can find me on Facebook.
Okay.
Mark Palchick, Palchick. Email is comedywalksdc@comcast.net. And you can also find our comedy walks at comedywalks.com.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah, I know Florida is such a waiting room for death. I go there all the time to pick
Your
up
favorite
people.
place.
Yeah. This smells like old leather and beef jerky. I just don't understand it. Just bad smell down there. I don't get it. Oh, yes.
Hey, you're never too old to go clubbing.
You're right. You know what? I'm not a day over 3,000, and I'm still young enough to go clubbing. So I have no problem. All right. Thank you so much, Mark. We're going to go to our next comic here. He is someone that won a game that Aaron calls Bombing Run. That's where 3 comedians go against each other doing 5-minute sets. And he has a mysterious judge, which this last Friday was Judge Doom. Judge Doom. I kid you not, Judge Doom. And Safi won this last Friday. So please welcome to the stage, Safi Alam. Yay!
You lovely people doing today? I'm reporting to you live from Buffalo, also known as the Ghetto, Canada. I'm 19 now, so it's the first time I'm gonna vote. I think vote is important. Every voice counts. I'm excited. I think everybody should vote. Because you don't know if it's your voice, your vote, that could potentially decide the winner of Dancing with the Stars. I think we need to vote. We need to figure out who's gonna win. Vote 6 times. I'm not too worried about this election, because I have dual citizenship. Canada's only 22 minutes away. That's 1 episode of Full House. Painting was alright. It's just COVID right now. COVID is just making me see the world different. Like I don't see the glass half empty. I don't even see it half full. I just see backwash and mouth herpes.
Ooh.
But COVID's offered me a lens into the deeper things in life. I'm thinking about women's equality, how far women have come just to be equal. Right to vote, equal salary, paying for dinner, not yet. Truth be told, I'm part of the problem. I don't think a woman should pay for dinner. I think it's about paying it forward, because the truth is, it's been a woman taking care of me my whole life. That's right. Her name is Rebecca Flowers. She lives in Beverly Hills and has no idea I'm charging her credit card.
Oh my God.
Get on the down low. But, things aren't all that bad. I'm not a bad person. I work in a restaurant. I'm a waiter. I get a lot of odd people that come into the restaurant. This one time I had a guy who just got out of prison. I knew he just got out of prison because he still had the jumpsuit on. Like he really couldn't wait to come to Olive Garden. But
Oh my
he was
God.
cool. He was cool. He sat down, ate his food, didn't bother anybody. He even tipped me. That's right, 2 packs of ramen and some cigarettes. That's $46 in prison money. $46. Halloween's coming around. I'm a little excited, you know. I'm trying to get to the Halloween spirit a little bit. Been watching some Halloween movies. I saw Friday the 13th the other day, and it made me realize Jason is probably the slowest killer on the planet. Like, I get it, you know, this guy has a ski mask, leather gloves, comes back 30 years later with a vengeance, but he just tops out at 1 mile per hour when he's chasing you. Like, if he were to be chasing you, right, and he managed to cut off both your legs, you'd still manage to be 2 steps ahead of him. Police show up to the body 7 hours later. They catch him still walking away. But it made me realize, if that happened today, I don't think police will know how to handle it. You know, chief of police gets a call. Hello, sir. There's been a double homicide in Brentwood. Oh my God. Did you find anything? Well, the bodies have been severed, and the killer left what looks to be a single brown leather glove in the form of a calling card. Jesus Christ. Find me, O.J. Simpson. Click! Make fun of O.J., right? Because, like, we know he did it. It's not like glue, it's not debatable. But, you know, I've been getting into dating recently. I guess I've been getting back into dating, I should say. I took this girl on a really, really nice restaurant, you know. It was a restaurant inside of my college campus, which was really nice. And, you know, they gave me a student discount, which was cool, until I realized, you know, I still owe them $44,000 in tuition. You know. Not the best leverage. But, you know, I made it up to my girlfriend, you know. Took it to this really, really nice hibachi restaurant. You know, had the shrimp in the pocket, a little fire volcano. Bill came out to $217. I paid it though. Gave my credit card and I signed it. Rebecca Flowers. I wanna finish with this last joke. It's not really a joke, but I just want to thank everybody. You know, if you're watching live on Zoom, thank you. If you're watching live on YouTube, thank you. If you're watching live in person, where are you?
All right, thank you so much, Safi. All right, that was awesome. He's a great comic, up and coming comic, and he won Bombing Run, folks. It's a great game.
Woo!
Awesome game. I encourage everybody to go on it. There's a slotted page for it. It's all for fun. I've had people take it a little seriously, but you know what? Everyone bombs. That's how I got here. One bad joke and I got down here. What's going on, man? The dating apps, you know, they have the dating app down here. It's called Hooked. You know. Yeah, well, they just drag them along. Anyway. And Safi can be found on Twitter and Instagram at Safi Comedy. And he also has a tip app. It's listed in the descriptions. This has been posted on Facebook as well. So everybody, I posted on groups. I posted it on AE Ron's page. Game Demon doesn't have a page yet. I don't know if I want to go on Facebook. It seems a little evil to me. With that being said, I want to bring on this great comic. I think he's been on the show more times than AE Ron. I'm pretty sure he was here waiting for AE Ron to start the show. This comic is so awesome. Please welcome to the stage, Chris Wright. Yay!
Thanks, guys. Now, very much like Safi, I love Halloween. Like, I get to pretend that I'm Dracula, and my girlfriend gets to pretend that we're still in a happy relationship. But I've been doing comedy just since the beginning of lockdown, and my only dream at the moment is that my jokes can be as tight as my jeans. But one thing I've realised since I began comedy is I don't really mind bringer shows because I always bring my A game, tight jokes, and a constant reminder that I don't have any friends. But before 2020, I always thought social distancing was just blocking someone on Facebook or Instagram. Like, I'm surprised this year with the 2 meter rule that MySpace hasn't made a comeback. But I think after the year we've all had, we should just forget about Sober October and just concentrate on Can't Remember December. Now, I'm not usually one for conspiracy theories, but I absolutely do not believe that COVID actually comes from China, because nothing that's ever made in China lasts this long.
Hey.
Some people also say this pandemic started because people were eating bats. But surely if that was the case, Catwoman would have died about 20 years ago. I actually thought I was going to be in lockdown last year because I got in trouble with the police. Like, I got caught stealing mobile phone batteries, but surprisingly, they released me without charge. I donated blood a couple of weeks ago, and I tried to flirt with the nurse, but apparently I wasn't her type. I asked her out on a date, and she was like, "Oh, negative." Some people say that men think with their penis, so that would explain why politically I lean left. Now, my ex-girlfriend would never come to church with me. She was a feminist, so she absolutely refused to sing hymns. She also had pigtails, which is a pretty weird thing to collect. We actually had quite a lot of chemistry, but it was mostly ethanol and acetaminophen. Although she did leave me her D&D collection, Debt and Discharge. Two of my ex-girlfriends actually went into lesbian relationships after we broke up. And I used to be arrogant and think it was because they couldn't find another guy like me. But now I realise it was actually my boobs that turned them. I asked my girlfriend if she wanted to do doggy style, so she took a dump on the rug. But we've got a beautiful son together, and he's recently just turned 2. You know, like, too late to decide you don't want kids. But I love my son more than anything, but sometimes I really miss the good old days when my little bundle of joy was just my collection of sex toys. I think that explains why we named him Kai, but we spell it K-Y. But my son is so damn smart. Like, recently, he's actually been teaching me algebra, which just goes to show that people can learn from their mistakes.
Well done.
My girlfriend is actually really happy that I do comedy, because at least now other people can be left disappointed when I'm finished.
Oh.
But I think that's my time up, guys. I just need to go and check on my little bundle of joy. So if you'll excuse me.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Right? Yes, yes. And he's actually from what? Oh, he's from
Glasgow.
Oregon. No, Glasgow, Scotland. Right? Not Oregon. That's where the accent comes from. Thank you, Chris, so much. You know, when you come down to hell, you won't have to have that ball gag. No.
Oh, thank you. It may be how I get
We'll
there.
let you laugh everyone to death. That's kind of a good idea. We'll let you just kill everybody with your laughter. That's what we need. All right. We can find him on Twitter at Wright, as in W-R-I-G-H. W-R-I-G-H-T. Writer, as in W-R-I-T-E-R 20. I get it right once in a while. the education system sucks in hell. And you can find him on Facebook. Chris Wright. Yes, thank you so much, Chris. You're an awesome guy. Like I said, he's about one of the most favorite comics on the show. He comes in when people disappear, and I can't thank him enough. The other guy, well, who knows where he's went? Maybe to hell. I know a lot of hell jokes tonight, right? Yeah, I get it.
Hell.
Oh, yeah. See. All right. Thank you, Chris. Our next comedian, not related to Chris, is from Omaha, Nebraska. Please welcome to the stage a very funny woman, Annaliese Wright. Yay!
Woo! Thank you so much. So since I don't really know y'all and you don't know me, I'm going to share some fun facts about me so we can get to know each other better. My parents are named Mary and Joseph, so I was named wrong. But sometimes I do get a second coming. I have two brothers who look nothing like me. How do you know if your brother doesn't look like you? If you go on vacation with him and the hotel desk clerk says, "Hey, didn't you want the honeymoon suite?" It's awkward. So I'm a divorced single mom. Going back to the wedding, my maid of honor was actually my divorce attorney. So when you get married, pick your maid of honor well.
Oh my God.
My divorce finalized just right before the pandemic hit, which was great. I didn't want to live in a house with my ex-husband anymore. But imagine if you had to live in a house with your soon-to-be ex. It would be awful, but it would be a pretty sweet version of Mortal Kombat. It would be the only version of Mortal Kombat where kids are used as weapons. So divorce has been great for me. Most people give up stuff in a divorce. I got stuff back because I divorced a Catholic. I got back meat on Fridays, offering money, birth control. It's fan-freaking-tastic. It's nice. So I've been out of dating so long because I got out of a marriage that somebody asked me if I wanted to be a friend with benefits. I said, what kind? Is there a premium? Like, what's the copay? So I've been trying to clean my carpets lately and not having any luck. It's gone really poorly. I told a friend and she asked me if I'd considered removing the children.
Oh.
I told her that I'd called CPS and they couldn't pick them up. So my kids are really creative. They created some really great artwork recently. It is called "A Bomb Went Off in the Living Room." I call it, "Go to your room now, kids. You're grounded." So I have friends who don't understand why I do comedy. They say, what if nobody laughs? What if people are silent? I say, my kids scream all day. Maybe I should just tell bad jokes so I can get some silence like I need. You guys walked into a bar. The fourth one ducked. Oh, come on. You're not even going to give me like 3 seconds before you start laughing? Come on. The less you laugh, the better it is for me. Oh! Since I'm a single mom, I lock my door at night to stay safe and I don't let anybody in that I don't know. I told a bunch of people this. 1/3 said, "You're not safe enough. You need to get a gun." Another third said, "You're all right." The last third said, "No, you need to be more inclusive. You need to open your door and let everybody in." Needless to say, I was voted out of church by a 2/3 vote, and I still have no idea how to be safe.
Oh, man.
So recently, because politics is so divisive, I decided to travel to the 1920s to try comedy. I thought it would be fun. I put on a show. It went great. At the end of the show, I got a lot of laughter. I had a doctor say I was hysterical. I thought it was a good thing until he told me, no, yeah, that means you're going with the men in white coats because you have hysteria. I did find out the cure is a vibrator. I'm cured. All right, that is all for me. Thank you so much. You've been lovely. I'm going to turn it back over to the Blue Demon. He is pretty funny. So thank you guys.
All right, let's give it up for Annaliese Wright. And we can find her on Instagram at Annaliese WRIGHT.
There's an M in it.
There's an M?
Annaliese M. Wright.
Ah.
But it's on all the Facebooks. You're good.
Devil in the details. That was missed. Guess I better go to hell. By the way, we do not want your carpet, but munchers, your little hellions in hell. We already have enough of them. Thank you so much. You can keep them up there. That's all I can, we care about. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, you can't give them up to us. We got enough.
I mean, I'm going to heaven. Great.
Yeah.
We have to talk. Yes, we have to talk about that after the show. We have to talk. Yes. It might cost you an arm and a leg, or one. No, we're not taking your firstborn. Sorry about that. Oh, such a terrible thing. All right, now we're up to our headliner. The show goes by so fast with all these great comics. It's amazing. It's amazing. I want to welcome this great comic from Dallas, Texas. Please welcome to the stage, Charlotte Parker. Yay!
What is up, everybody? Keep it going for all the other comedians, everybody. That was awesome. What a great lineup. Oh, man. Annaliese, I love that bit about going back to the 20s and getting taken in for hysteria. If that happened to me, I would never be cured. I'd be like, no, I need more treatment. I don't think that quite did it. I'll be back next week. Great. I would just never be cured, ever.
I'm dying.
Exactly. Oh, man. The last Zoom show I did, I didn't realize until after one of the audience members pointed out to me later that my cat was behind me on my bed licking herself the entire time. And she's in the room now, so she might make an encore appearance. We'll see. She might steal the show yet again. But hi, everyone. A little bit about me. People usually assume when they first meet me that I'm Irish, Catholic, and straight, when I'm actually Jewish, queer, and depressed. But in comedy, that's just called being a triple threat. So if anything, it's an advantage. I was raised Jewish, and I noticed a trend in Jewish holidays over the years. Most of them have the same theme, which is, hey, remember that time everyone tried to kill us and they mostly failed? All right, cool. Let's eat. Nice video. I also found out recently that some anti-Semitic people like to call us Jews cockroaches. And I actually think that's kind of fitting, though. Hear me out. Other religions have been trying to exterminate us for centuries. The Inquisition, the Crusades, hummus shortages, other travesties like that. And no matter what, we just keep crawling back out of the woodwork like, ha, we're still here. We are the chosen people. Let's go convince everyone to get circumcised. And then we scurry away. I mean, I bet even the dinosaurs discriminated against the Jewish dinosaurs back in the day. Like, no, Stegosteins, you go to that watering hole over there. Trolling all the dinosaur media. But I'm convinced, I'm convinced if, God forbid, there ever is some kind of nuclear attack, that Jews, cockroaches, Betty White, and Keith Richards will be the only survivors. Heard it here first. I've stopped using Tinder recently because straight women kept ruining it for me. These straight women kept checking off the men and women boxes and then showing up on my feed because they're new in town and they're just looking for friends on Tinder. Which is like walking into a vegan restaurant and going, I'm just here for steak. Well, we don't serve that here, and you're upsetting a lot of lesbians, so maybe just leave. How about you just leave? One dating app that's worked out a lot better for me, though, is Amazon. I don't know if anyone here has ever tried it, but I highly recommend it. I met a professional back massager who had really high ratings. That was what caught my eye. What caught her eye was that my credit card works. Not to brag, She's got a really vibrant personality, which I like a lot. But she's an introvert like me. I mean, most of the time she just likes to stay home and recharge her batteries. But then other times she's got like way more energy, which is awesome. And, okay, I mean, I'll admit she can be a bit intense sometimes, depending on how much I've been pushing her buttons, you know, but it's a good relationship because we communicate really well. I mean, she never sends me cryptic text messages. She never gives me the cold shoulder. She never has to ask if I came, which is refreshing, frankly. So anyway, I work with little kids, and I teach acting classes at children's theater. I don't usually tell them about my stand-up because I tend to work with the younger kids, like the 5 to 7-year-old range, and I don't want them to hear my stand-up and accidentally learn some new things too early. Like, wow, Miss Charlotte really prefers tacos to eggplants. I don't know why she kept bringing that up in her set, though. Well, Miss Charlotte must be a really lazy cook. She keeps talking about other people tossing her salad for her. So odd. Or, you know, I saw Miss Charlotte's set, and I don't think cream pie always means food. Someone lost on some of you? Okay. Well, anyway, I don't even have jokes about any of those things. I was just hungry when I wrote that. So I'm the token Jew at work, which has its ups and downs. Sometimes I notice things that other people don't. Like, it's a theater, so sometimes they'll rent out space to other groups. And this one time they rented out one of their theater spaces to this family for their son's bar mitzvah. And the bar mitzvah was scheduled during our opening night performance of Sound of Music Junior. And for anyone who's not familiar with Sound of Music, Act 2 features a lot of, how do I put this lightly, Nazis.
Yes.
In this case, tiny children dressed as Nazis, which is adorable, but still problematic. And it wasn't even subtle. Like, they had big swastikas on their sleeves. There was no doubt as to what kind of characters these kids were playing. So, yeah, Devil's loving this. Yeah, so while this kid is up on stage doing his speech about becoming a man and making his family proud, they could also turn and gaze out the door and watch these little Nazi nuggets trotting by to chase the Von Trapp family into the Alps. It's a real problem. Last year I got to direct the Diary of Anne Frank, obviously with older kids. There were no Nazi nuggets in this one. But my boss called me and asked me if I wanted to direct it. And I said, yeah, I'd love to. And he goes, cool. It's not just because you're the only Jew on staff. Please don't sue us. I'm like, okay. I have plenty of other reasons to sue anyway. But not really. I love my job. But I was really excited. And so I'm going around promoting the show, telling parents about it so I could get enough students signed up. And this one parent said, oh, Diary of Anne Frank, cool. Is that a play or a musical?
Oh.
And there was this awkward pause where I realized she was serious. So I explained to her why it was a play and then managed to move on with my day. And then a few days later, another parent asked me that same question. So now I'm writing Anne Frank the musical. Figure if it's going to exist, and it will, at least a Jew should write it, I think. It's going to be the best Jewsical since Fiddler. I'm very excited. Yeah. It's going to be a jukebox Jewsical, so it'll be all Beatles songs. Some of them I didn't even need to change, like Hey Jude.
Oh.
And Help, because, I mean, of course, we have to have that. And there's a few I made some changes to, like, you've got to hide your yarmulke away. And don't let me downstairs. And then the closer, here comes the son of a Nazi. Very excited. It's going to be a great show with very quiet dance numbers. So keep an eye out for that. You know, whenever I tell that that whole bit, if you listen really closely, you can actually hear my ancestors rolling over in their graves. So, fun fact. So as I mentioned, I usually work with the younger kids, which is super fun, partly because they have no filter whatsoever. One of my students came up to me once during a class, poked me in the stomach and said, "Is that a baby?" And my first thought was, no, it's a 26-year-old with feelings. And I thought, this is a teachable moment. I should talk to her about this. So took a deep breath, knelt down so I was on her level. And I said, listen, bitch.
Oh.
This actually was a baby, but you just poked a hole right through it. So not anymore. And end on this. Beginning of one of my classes, it was the first day of class, and so we're going over the rules, and we get to rule number 3, keep your hands and feet to yourself. So I turn to the kids, I say, what does that mean? And immediately this girl raises her hand and she goes, no kicking people in the vagina. Like, well, yeah, I mean, I was gonna say no kicking like in general, because I kind of thought that was a given. And then I realized what probably happened is that she kicked someone in the vagina. An adult told her, you're not allowed to do that. And she thought, oh, this is an obscure rule. I need to go tell everyone. And then the rest of us are like, no, we kind of assumed that. But just in case I get other students like her, I've decided to add some vaginal addendums or vagendums to the rest of the class rules as well. There's no shouting in the vagina because that's rude. No chewing gum in the vagina. If you do have a snack in the vagina, make sure you clean up all your crumbs. Don't want bugs in there. Sounds like one of you might have learned that the hard way. Cough or sneeze in your elbow, not your vagina. Very important to teach kids that.
Oh.
And last but not least, if you have something to say, raise your hand in the vagina, but start with 1 or 2 fingers.
Oh.
So some of you skip straight to fisting. Cool. All right. On that note, I'm Charlotte Parker. Thank you all so much for having me. This is fun.
All right. Thank you so much, Charlotte Parker. All right. That was awesome. What a great headliner. And I got to look at this list. She has got such a social media thing. Hold on a second. She is on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. It's Char Parpar.
Yep.
And on TikTok, which I don't know why hell didn't come up with this one, Charlotte Parker Comedy. TikTok, it's something that, you know, should have been designed in hell, I think. She also has a demo, but thank you so much, Charlotte. That was great. I can't wait to see your musical. I'm kind of curious now. What a great show. I want to thank everyone on this show, all the great comedians tonight. Let's all give yourselves a round of applause. Vic Milberg, Mark Palchick, yay, Safi Alam, yay, Chris Wright, yeah, Annaliese Wright, and again, Charlotte Parker, and my co-producer tonight, J.R. Johnson. You better take the darn spotlight right now. Take the spotlight. Come on.
Yeah.
I'll put you down right now. I can put you down. Yeah, there he is. There he is. Yay. All right. Okay, now you can get me back on the screen or I'll send you to hell. Come on. There we go. Yeah. He listens well. Anyways, that's the show for the night. Next Saturday, the show's not at 7 p.m. It is at 8 p.m. I won't be here. The Game Demon will not be here. I'm going to be back down in hell. But there will be another host. It won't be AA Ron. I hear it's Dr. Hack and Slash. And everyone will be in costume doing their sets. It's going to be an awesome show. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern time. It'll be streamed on YouTube. Everybody can share it on Facebook, wherever else you want to share it. It's going to be a great time. But for all of us here on this Just In News Comedy Club show, thank you for tuning in. And this has been an oddly funny production. Good night, everyone. Woo!